Game number 1, Tomb of the Spider Queen. We're still in Group D of the European Nations Cup qualifier, and we got the UK up against Ukraine in our next best of 3 series. So UK played 1 series so far and they lost, and Ukraine played also only 1 and they took theirs with a 2-0 score over Denmark. So a pretty important one for the Ukrainians here. Well, actually it's a pretty important one for both of these teams. Obviously the boys in blue here are going to try and win this one so they can force some kind of tiebreaker and then try and get out of the group. But the Ukrainian players have shown pretty stellar performance against Denmark, especially on the first map where they pulled off an incredible comeback. They can do that again, that's a different question. So as we're heading into the draft, we'll figure out which team is going to be able to claim victory on the first map. And again, all of this is going to lead to an event in Berlin, 10th and 11th of June. We're now having the first group stage with 16 teams, 4 groups of 4. And the top 8 will advance to the next phase of the qualification tournament here before we are going to determine 4 teams to come to Berlin for the offline event. And we're also going to see 1 team from North America there and 1 team from Asia. The qualifiers there have still to be held. So it's going to be a great offline event at the Experian in Berlin at the Alexanderplatz. And we have links for all of this in the description that you can check out if you're watching this on YouTube right now. Not only if you want to attend the event, again, there's no entrance fee. You can just stop by, you can combo that off with a trip to Berlin to just see the sights and party a little bit, whatever you want to do there. And of course, you can also check out some of the socials from the experience itself to get an idea of the venue and also get a bit of a glimpse of past events that they've done and how this is going to look like. Tomb of the Spider Queen, as I said, is our first map, and we got Garrosh as the first pick here. Vala got removed after we just saw a Vala auto attack play from the red team against Denmark. Sylvanas and Johanna, though. This is really good rotation for Tomb of the Spider Queen. You have a tank that gives you a lot of wave clear, and you have Sylvanas who can help you with every single objective that you get to push out those lanes further, take forts down, and yeah, just snowball the game a bit, which is the goal. Blaze and Tacita. Tacita, get the Protoss into play. Blaze for the bot lane. Trying to burn this down a bit more as well. I mean, Blaze is always neat. Oftentimes, and we've seen this now in this tournament multiple times in particular, we have seen Jojo plus Blaze, so that you have that heavy front line, you have the bunker as a panic button. Here we now have the stun from Blaze as a follow-up to whatever Garrosh is going to pull off, and then the bunker if the shit hits the fan. Blaze is the OG prepper. That bunker is stacked. When Corona hit, Blaze had no problem. He's like, I have toilet paper in my bunker en masse. I'm set for a couple of years, boys. To the day, this is the funniest thing about Corona still for me. The whole toilet paper craze. It was like the dumbest thing I've ever experienced in my entire life. That people would rush for toilet paper of all things. It's just like, let's imagine the worst case scenario here. Like literally worst case scenario in this particular situation. You have no toilet paper. Do you have a shower? Like, hello? Most of the time, in nearly every single bathroom that you go to, you have a toilet, and next to it is a shower. Do you know what water is? Have you ever used that to clean yourself? I mean, the French are doing that with their bidets all the time, and I'm not necessarily going to try and emulate that. You go for a Japanese toilet, and you get that as well. But, like, how the hell were people so fucking brain dead that they were running around and stacking toilet paper up? If you appear back home with... if I had a son, and he appears at home with toilet paper, that kid would be slapped around for, like, half a minute. It's like, the fuck are you doing? Wasting my money, and also, can you get a brain, please? It's just like, Jesus. Blaze, on the other hand, no problem. The man has a shower and he has toilet paper because he's a prepper. He has a bunker. We get Stukov and we get Hanzo. Hogger for side lane pressure, Rhaegar, lightning shield, and that leaves us with Ice Corp. Chromie for the final damage. Let's go, boys and girls. Tomb of the Spider Queen. First map in the best of 3 series here. It is UK against Ukraine. Game number 1, the UK on the left with Lexa on Tacita, Lucas on Stukov, Captain Barney on Blaze, we got Siegfried on Garrosh, and Mustard on Hanzo. On the right side of the map, Ukraine with Ice Corp on Sylvanas, Arabano on Hoga, Dinardo on Johanna, Blu-ray on Rega, and No Game No Life is playing Chromie. After now 6 days of doing nothing but casting Heroes of the Storm, editing videos with Heroes of the Storm and other stuff, I'm looking at a lot of these games and my brain is really turning itself into a total pretzel whenever I see stuff. I'm looking at the scoreboard right now and I'm seeing Ukraine and UK Rain, and I'm thinking, shouldn't the names be reversed? Shouldn't Ukraine be named UK and UK be named Ukraine? Because basically both have the same shit weather, but the UK has more rain, so it's UK plus... It's bad. It's really bad. My head is in a bad state. There's some people on YouTube that always tend to complain. It's like, why does he think this is funny what he's talking about right now? And it's like a very simple explanation. If you've been casting hour after hour of Heroes of the Storm every day for like a week at big tournaments, you had like 9-10 hour days of doing nothing but cast Heroes games, and then what you do before those start, you edit the games from the day before to get them ready for YouTube. At some point your brain goes on a vacation and you find shit funny that nobody else can even understand what you're talking about. And you're just like sitting in there rambling along and there's like, I don't understand why he thinks this is funny. It's just like, well, yeah, try no sleep and doing nothing but Heroes for 72 hours and then we'll talk again. So yeah. But I'm looking at this, I'm really thinking like, does it rain more in Ukraine than it does in the UK? Like, I don't know, but if I know anything about the UK, then it's just the weather's shit and it's raining all day long. That's what they're all complaining about. So, yeah. That being said, noteworthy as well that the UK is playing with their second team. So the UK had multiple teams that signed up to represent their country. And by the way, we did them a bit of a favor, let them participate in this tournament because they're not even part of the EU. We kind of got rid of them finally. Brexit. But what was I about to say? Ah, yeah. So this is not the team that won the regional qualifier in the UK because apparently there was some massive scheduling issues that emerged last second for the team that came in first place at the regional qualifier and they couldn't make it. And thankfully, the guys in blue, they were able to fill in last second and said, okay, if they can't represent us, we're going to do it. And, well, now we're going to have them over here. So they're going to do their best to try and take down the Ukrainians so that they can still force this tiebreaker situation in the group and maybe advance to the round of 8. But as is, it is the red team that is able to get some work done over here. They're destroying some of these walls already, and down at the bottom of the map we have them also possibly going for, yes, going for the siege giants. Alright, so let's get that on. Captain Barney. I, by the way, don't know why, but this nickname is funny to me. There are some very funny nicknames in Heroes of the Storm. One of my favorite ones is still the Panda Colada, which I enjoy thoroughly. And I want to come to an event where they have a Panda Colada as a drink. I really want to. I'm not quite sure what would be in there. I guess rum. It's a rum drink in my opinion. It's a drink with rum. But the Panda Colada, it has to be a thing. I want to have a Panda Colada at some event. Captain Barney, on the other hand, is in problem. Oh, Captain, my Captain! He gets destroyed and is down. It's actually kind of sad that the kids of today probably don't even know that reference. So, yeah, that gets a womp-womp for me. Sad times with all the shitty movies that are being pushed out these days, and some of the classics are not even well known. Do you know, by the way, how long it took me to realize that the guy that plays Wilson in House is the same one that played in Dead Poets Society? At some point when I rewatched Dead Poets Society, I looked at the guy and I was just like, where do I know him from? He looks so familiar. And I was just like, I know him from somewhere else. Like, what else did he do? And I was like, oh my god, no. It was mind-blowing to me. Never crossed my mind before when I watched the series for the first time. But yeah, rewatching Death Poet Society was kind of fun. Either way, so with that now we got Stukov killed. They got the gems though, so it's good for them. But you can already tell that the Ukrainians are applying pressure from minute one. They destroyed some walls in the middle, now they have their web weavers, and the UK team is doing their best to stop this, but the top lane is getting completely abandoned, and Garrosh seems to be unwilling to participate in the fight too. because he has 44 gems, and he's a greedy little bastard. He doesn't want to lose any of them. He's saving for the secret mount. I think it has been long enough that I can tell the secret mount story again. I think the last time that I actually talked about this is more than a year ago. So, secret mount is something... At some point, Blizzard had a mechanical spider that they brought into the game. I think you got it because you did some Facebook shit. And then on Tomb of the Spider Queen, there were a couple of games where I played with a few friends and we were demolishing the opponent's team, but we had 2 randoms on the team. And one of the randoms was bitching that we didn't turn our gems in, and it wasn't really needed because we were crushing the opponent anyway. Everything was safe, and he was just like nagging and nagging all game long. It's like, you need to turn your gems in, what are you doing? Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And we're like 2 or 3 levels ahead already and still having fun. And at some point, we were just so tired with that guy that we told him, dude, we're trying to get the secret mount. He's like, what? Secret mount? What secret mount? There's a secret mount? I was like, of course there's a secret mount. The secret spider mount. Ah, I've seen that mount. How do you get the secret mount? Well, you need to have 100 gems as the game ends. When the game ends and you have 100 gems, then you get the secret mount. He's like, oh my god, I want the secret mount. I need the secret mount. So he started collecting gems the entire game. And he didn't say a word anymore. And as the game is about to end, he has like 90 gems or 85 or something. And he's like, guys, don't stop! I want the secret mount! I don't have 100 gems yet! And then we told him that, yeah, we just made it up to shut him up. He was not happy, but thankfully the game ended a second later. But yeah, he was a very enthusiastic fella. So yeah. 2 kills to 1, we got level 10, no secret mount in this game, but with 2 forts destroyed, you can already see where this is currently going. Garrosh, yeah, he's not gonna get secret mount either, because he made a mistake, he turned his gems in, and if you learned anything from that story, it's that you never turn your gems in, because you need the secret mount. That was a sexy arrow on the other hand, woo! Who needs a secret mount when you get sexy arrows? So that's an easy double kill for the UK team, whew! Not bad. Me likey. And they get another kill. Look at that. Garrosh. Toxic masculinity right there. Coming in with a chair as well and just hitting them hard. I gotta admit that this is one of the skins that I find probably the funniest in Heroes of the Storm. Guy comes in with a chair and just completely murders people. Reminds me a little bit of the good old Nintendo WrestleMania games, like the really, really old ones. I think these days that's still part of the games, but when they had the first one come out, it was just so ridiculous to get the chair and slap people. Either way, 4 kills to 2 and level 11 to 11. The problem is really the amount of structures that have been lost on the side of the UK. So right now there's only 1 remaining at the bottom of the map. Web Weavers are touching ground for the blue team though, so they're trying to bring this one back. And this is, by the way, an absolute abomination. I hate the skin for Blaze in the first place. It's not... I want the cool armor, and then he goes for the shitty mount as well. Garrosh and Hanzo are both dead. I think Garrosh got just cancelled. It was a little bit too toxic. Same time now though, we got Tessera. Yes, kill the Protoss. They're getting chased hard. I love how Ukraine just doesn't even deal with the web weavers anymore. They're just, let's go and kill shit. And that's what they did. We have 6 kills to 5. Level 13 to 12. By the way, you know what? The last time that I said in a game that I don't like this skin, that I prefer when he has like one of the armor variations, what happened immediately on YouTube? Someone called me racist. I swear to God, that's literally what happened. Any other hero, you can bitch about skins as much as you want. With this one, I just said, I don't like the skin. I like the armor variations better. And then someone's like, you're a racist. I was just thinking, what the fuck? Some people are so brain dead, it's glorious. Oh man. 5 kills to 6 and the boss is about to be taken, everybody. So, top side, we get the boss. We still have enough gems for a turn-in for the red team, so they could try and go for the double whammy now. We still have same talents though, so the UK team can try and defend here. But they have to deal with the boss at the top, and Hanzo's trying to do that. Well, as I say, he jumps out. It's like, nope! Oh! So much fail in one scene. We're gonna take another look at that. They didn't coordinate that properly. Chromie would have hit these without the stun, and then, I mean, yeah, that was wild. So Hanzo dies, but that they didn't kill Tacita is special. This might actually... Is this gonna end the game? Nah, it isn't, right? Stukov dies. I definitely want to take another look at it, so we're gonna take another look. Check this one out. I mean, the Wailing Arrow missed, the stun, I mean, everything missed there. So they go up top, here comes the Blessed Shield, that makes Chromie miss her combo. The Wailing Arrow missed, and then they threw him out. All of those moves were good moves, they were just very badly coordinated, because nobody anticipated that the teammates would go for that. But yeah, now we might actually see game number 1 end, because it looks like the Ukraine is ready for a bit of a speed run. They are shying away from it, and I honestly think they should, because you're risking too much here. You're so far ahead, why would you risk getting taken down at the core? So, yeah. It's a trap! Look at this. You know what that is? That, ladies and gentlemen, is bait. Yeah, that's bait, and nobody gave a shit. Blue team saw her on the top, and they're like, nah, we don't care. So all of the plays around the top where they were hoping to trap somebody that would deal with either Chromie or the minion wave is now going to waste here. We see them with the turn-in. And yeah, off we go. We got... I mean, they still have enough gems. But Chromie needs to do her job, and she doesn't. She wants the secret mount. Turn-ins are for losers. Ah, but she's a strong, independent woman, so she gets the turn-in right there. Da-da-da-da. And it's the turn-in. Whoop, whoop. Web beavers, baby! Get those spiders in the house! And yeah, that one is a given. This one is gonna fall. Nothing to be done about that. Middle of the map. Different story. 16 talent advantage, 2 levels ahead. And with Sylvanas, this is where they could go for the big one. Have the minion wave coming in together with the camp and the spell aura, web beavers, 2, and that should cost them at least the key. But honestly, if they play their cards right, it is definitely possible to go for the core here as well, especially since the top lane is going to push through with it too. So here we are. Quick attack, bunker already out. Chromie, Wailing Arrow. He went into the bunker and escaped. First he used some of the toilet paper that Blaze stacked in there. And then he was able to just get away, but that Keep is not going to get out of that fight. Keep about to be gone. And that leaves us with the core. And I don't really think that they can make a move here. Tacita is dead already, so it's a 5 versus 4 to begin with. The web weavers are already starting to attack the core itself and take the shield down. With Garrosh fallen and them still not having access to level 16, the blue team just doesn't stand a chance here. So the Ukrainian team on their way to victory in game number 1 of this best of 3 series. 45,000 damage for Chromie, 29,000 for Hanzo, with 12 kills to 5. The red team takes victory on Tomb of the Spider Queen. Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet, so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV. Battlefield of Eternity, map number 2. The Ukrainians are in the lead, everybody. We have our second map now coming up, and again, quick reminder, the 10 heroes that were played on the previous map are not pickable anymore, so you can only play a hero once within a series. No hero can be played twice. Ukrainians did really well. So they came in swinging, and now that we're headed for BOE, question of course remains if the boys from the UK can bring this one back. Interesting for me is that the next series is Sweden against Ukraine. So that's also a super interesting match, especially if the Ukraine is going to be able to win this one right now, because then the next series will determine very likely about first or second place, but not necessarily. So there's a couple of different things and different circumstances that are all playing into all of this, but a lot is going to depend on whether or not the Ukrainian team is able to get a victory here. They were already taking a win earlier today with the 2-0 against Denmark. Hard fought one though, especially on the first map, but I'm curious. And a lot of really nice attacks here. The UK, they're doing their best, but they've had a tough going in this group. They are the underdog in the group. It's the second team out of the UK. They are the underdog for sure. And the other teams, they have so far proven that they are just playing on a bit of a different level. But yeah, let's see what they can do. It's again the same ban, by the way. Vala gets banned out again, and I already explained the reason for it earlier today. The Ukrainian players used a Vala auto attack strategy with double support and 2 tanks against, I believe it was Denmark. And they did extremely well with it. Vala was crushing it, Icecorp playing her, and therefore in game number 1 and now here in game number 2, which is incidentally also the same map where it was played the last time, they're just getting rid of Vala to not allow for any of this. Can't blame them. Honestly, can't blame them for that. Now, as we're headed into the first few picks, last ban coming out, let's see what they got up here. Okay, Genji, fair enough. Get rid of Genji. Take him out. No engage into the back line. No shenanigans with the Crybaby either. We have tons of heroes still that are good against the Immortal. So it might be the side lane that they're focusing on first. Yeah, again, Ukrainians, they really want to win this. Close it out early. Icecorp with Li Ming. Okay. So the damage is already secured. They already know what they can do here against the Immortal. Then we get Greymane. Everybody is starting to get Immortal damage in. Greymane instantly taken. He's a monster on this one. Not only for the Immortal damage, but if you can get him on structures, then of course he can do a lot more there as well. In an ideal world, you combo him off with something like a Sylvanas, who obviously isn't available for this particular map since she was played on the first one. But if you've ever seen Greymane Sylvanas roam the map a bit, maybe sped up by Lucio, they can take structures down super easily and just run around your opponent a bit, depending on the map size and obviously what your opponent plays. But yeah, some of these comps in the past have just absolutely destroyed. So Genji, Anduin, not an option, but they get Diablo here. Dinardo's Diablo, we gotta see it once again. And they could still combo something off with Anduin for this game. So we'll see if there is some light bomb engage happening, if it's just going to be Diablo that gets the light bomb on him and then dives in deep, or how they plan on playing this one out. Blue team now. Lexa and Lucas. Oh, actually banned, sorry. Chen. Yeah, Fat Illidan gets banned. That would have been another one of the guesses. If you want to go for light bomb engage and Genji is already out of the picture, then you can definitely do it with Chen. You could do it with Illidan, which I would prefer. Love to see a good Illidan. It's always fun to watch, and we had multiple Illidans in the other groups. We had some real shenanigans going on. I want to say it was particularly group B and C, if I remember correctly. That was quite spicy there, so yeah. But again, Brightwing is banned out, so we still don't have a support for the UK. They got Muradin in for the stun, Greymane for the damage. If he goes bullet, then he can also follow up on Muradin. And we get Thrall. And Leo, which means that Thrall is likely going to be in a 4-man and could be played with Trash Lightning. So he could try and stack it up a bit. Not so sure if that is the best choice here, though, considering. It also means that they don't really have a range damage. I mean, they got Greymane, so yes, you have a range damage. Greymane would love to go into Worgen form and just do his thing. But yeah, we'll see. On the right side of the map, though, we get Lunara and we get Artanis. So let's go. Lunara, Artanis, Anduin, Diablo, and Li Ming. Good damage against the Immortal, nice damage in the team fights, and whichever support they choose, they gotta deal with Lunara. So, yeah, let's have a look. Final pick, Lucas in game number 2 for the UK. What's it gonna be? It's Karazim. Yeah, let's see what he can do here. Karazim against this lineup, alright. Battlefield of Eternity, 7-sided strike could help them. Stuns are there. With that, let's go straight for game number 2 in the best of 3 series here in Group D, everybody. UK against Ukraine. UK against Ukraine. Let's go, boys. We have game number 2. The blue team. Lexa on Thrall, Lucas and Karazim. We got Siegfried on Muradin, Mustard on Greymane, and Captain Barney is playing Leoric. To the right side of the map, the Ukraine with 1-0 in the best of 3. So a victory here in Battlefield of Eternity would allow them to get out of the group. Would just be a question of whether or not they take first or second place. We have Icecop and Liming. Arabano on Atanes, Denardo on Diablo, No Game No Life on Anduin, and Blu-ray on Lunara. Bit of a rotation towards the top from Liming as they are trying to go for Leo, and just as I said it, he swaps on the minimap. So Atanes came in and immediately pulled him over there. No Trash Lightning, by the way, so Thrall has decided to go into the Trolling Thunder on level 1 as they are starting the stacks up. Not making any big plays here. And also, interestingly enough, we do not get the amateur opponent. It is a reactive parry instead for Atanes. To be fair, they don't really need any additional damage against the Immortal. You're already running this with Liming and with Lunara. You have plenty that you can play around with. So, yeah, there's no problem for you at all. With Greymane already moving in, they're going to try and get some damage done here. Arabano becomes quickly the target, of course. There's a lot of rotational plays being executed. It's also interesting to see that the Ukrainians are now going for a 2-3 split instead of just having the traditional 1-4. Yeah, Stormbolt is already out. And Canicking Muradin is doing his thing here. Okay, so camps appearing on the map at the 1 minute mark, immediately triggering a bit of a move. Nobody at the... Okay, now it seems like Atanes is starting to get at the top. The team in red was waiting to see what's happening at the bottom of the map before they're doing anything else here. So now that they saw that 4 heroes were committed to taking the camp, they also moved Liming and Atanes to the top side so that they are trading camp for camp. And yeah, at the same moment now, we're having a big push for the bot lane. And that's a first blood kill. Ukraine push from the UK to take some of the bot lane towers down. And Diablo turned it and quickly put Muradin into the wall. Stunned him out. Got the kill. And now they're trying to do the same thing with Greymane. Successfully, I might add. So 2 kills to 0 in favor of the Ukrainian team. Me likey. That means that we now have a situation in which they might... well, not only can they deal with the camp at the bottom of the map, but they might be able to take a bit more of a lead, and they're currently trying to do this up at the top. And down to the bottom of the map, nobody is dealing with them yet either, because Muradin and Thrall have both split off towards the camp so that they can set the shamans en route. Is Anduin the only one? That's gonna take a year and a half, dude. Like, I'm not so sure. The Crybaby going for the camp alone? No, that's not happening. So, yeah, that's not a thing. Oh, that would take forever. Can you imagine? Liming is still taking aim at the tower. There's only one team that has a shaman camp now. And that is the blue team, so they have a slight macro advantage on the bot lane. But over here, the Stormbolt connects with Atanes, and Anduin doesn't hesitate, pulls him out of the fight, saves the day for him. Leo eats damage, but bot lane has to be defended eventually, so Ukrainian players have to send somebody down there to deal with this. Should probably be Lunara that eventually makes a move, but at this point, they're just accepting that they are gonna take some damage here. 3 stacks for Thrall, so he has gone into the Frostwolf pack. And with 3 stacks, not looking too bad. Has to be a bit careful that he doesn't reset the stacks, but this is actually a pretty solid start for him. Completing that will help him with the mana management, and also with the cooldown later. Halftime show victory for the blue team. Yeah, the UK, look at them, doing well. Nice job. We still have to go for this. Thrall, no! That's the stacks gone, and so are his hit points. He's dead, and that is kill number 3 for the red team. Okay, we have on level 4 Triumvirate. We're also getting the Nature's Culling, and well, the next Immortal, so they're still fighting for this one. But as they are looking for even more kills, it's Anduin that gets attacked, pulling Lunara into the fight so she can get the counter kill, which she does, by the way. Gets the kill on Greymane, still fighting for the Immortal. It's Leo that is hammering away at the red team's Immortal, trying to get it. They're going for Muradin, they're taking him down too, so that's 5 kills to 1, level 7 in their hands. And Yeah, I mean, this is getting a bit disastrous now for the blue team. They might win the objective, but it is coming at a massive price. So, yeah, the shield is low, but boy oh boy did they pay dearly for this. They're still half a level behind and 4 kills. So traveling to the top side with 40% of a shield. Curious to see what they can do right now. Yeah. With that, what are we getting? We got bot lane, still a bit of a blue team push. I honestly don't really know. I guess they want to try and attack on 2 sides. Don't think this is going to work out too well for them. We now have both Artanis and Diablo down at the bottom of the map, and even Lunara is helping out since there's 4 blue team heroes. And up at the top, Li Ming and Anduin are going to be able to deal with this without losing too much on the fort, I'd assume. Unless Leo is going to absolutely crush it here. They could have rotated, I suppose, either Artanis or Diablo topside as well. So they're eating a bit more damage than initially expected here. But now Leo's getting attacked. They're even abandoning the Immortal. This thing is going to take the fort down if they're not careful. Yeah, them chasing Diablo for that kill destroyed the fort at the top. Don't really like the decision of the Ukrainian team here. That was a bit weird. Leo, I mean, killing Leo this early in the game, what does that actually give you? He's already about to be back. He doesn't even have travel time from the Nexus, and the experience that he gained through that kill is completely negligible. So that doesn't do a whole lot for you. Losing the fort, on the other hand, takes the fountain away from the top lane, and it lets catapult spawn on the blue team side. So that was awkward, to say the least. Now they still have the 1 level lead that allows them to grab level 10 pretty early. So they can now come in and try and use it to push this fort down, maybe even get a kill. Kerosene gets slammed into the wall, light bomb, and bumped by Muradin. Muradin is gone, and well, that is the end of Greymane. So easy double kill for the Ukrainian team. 8 kills to 1, and they draw even in structures as they are about to take the bottom fort down. So they are still playing a very strong game, but some of the early decisions, at least in the top lane, were a bit weird. Now, with that being said, we have the bot lane, even the wall thingy, the towers here are attacked. So there we go. Wall is gone. Top side, Artanis already going for a camp. I don't really think that Leoric has figured it out. And honestly, they might need some help here. Leo has actually realized what's going on. So they are fighting out the 1 versus 1 up at the top. Down to the bottom of the map, the wall has now been destroyed, and they're still lurking for kills, with Li Ming hoping for a reset, obviously. Leo seems to be losing that top lane fight and had to retreat. Not even the suppression pulse was used by Artanis to deal with that. And Muradin going for his ult on the other hand, gets stunned and killed again. Diablo safe for just a moment. Greymane still trying to get the kill together with Kerosene. The 2 of them are jumping in. They might get the kill, but one of them is definitely going to die here. Ice Scorp comes in. Li Ming is dead, but she also killed Kerosene. Greymane died, and now we have a full 5-man team wipe as we see the entire team demolished. Camp on the map still for the red team. So now they have the Immortal up. They can do damage at the objective. They can push the top the top fort a little bit. Yeah. And there's a talent advantage. 13 kills to 3. Getting a bit nasty with 24,000 damage now for Lunara. Yeah, Bambi made it happen. Now, Greymane is jumping in deep. He's obviously going to be the big linchpin here for the team. Suppression pulse could be used if they at any point are questioning whether or not they can win the Immortal. But it's highly unlikely. Oh, that's going to hurt. Yeah, they wanted to be sneaky and go for the camp, but now it's going to be stolen away from them, and they might even lose a hero here. So they're not going to take that shaman camp. With level 13 talents in their hands, the Ukrainians are super confident that they can take that fight. And their composition is really excelling in this situation. So once again, there's a swap from Artanis, swapping himself into the midst of 4 heroes. Ingenious play, making himself the target right away, getting hit by the Immortal Stun a second later. Trash Tannis with mad value. I mean, he is a sponge. He is a damage sponge. And as they're all focusing on him, he gets a kill. Arabano, there he goes for kill number 2. Would have been glorious if he died to the Immortal a second later, but yeah, they didn't focus him properly, so he actually survives this. Well, I can't even be mad with him. This is still funny. He got stunned by the Immortal, gets pushed back by the Immortal. It seems like his biggest opponent is the objective. It's not even the opponent's team. 16 kills to 3. Top gets pressured. And well, here we go. We got another wall about to be destroyed, or another fort about to be destroyed. The wall is already gone. The Immortal has a solid shield. We're looking at 70%, a bit more than that. Yeah, and with them getting closer to level 15, the blue team still hasn't gotten their level 13 talents, so they're still playing at a disadvantage here, and they're paying dearly for it. Mirrodin gets caught and completely crushed. They're going for the second kill on Greymane, and they lock it in without any problems. Leo is at the bottom of the map, still hoping to get them enough experience so that they at least have level 13, but since they now are at a numeric disadvantage, it's not even gonna matter. Leo... Diablo going in deep, and they nearly got Karazim here. That 7-sided not doing enough, juking out the Entomb, and Anduin pulling him back quickly. That means now we have 18 kills to 3. 13 is ready for the UK, but the red team is about to get level 16 talents. And they're of course going to destroy this keep too. If they can take a few kills here, they could go for a game. Lunara with a hoppity hop as she stops in, and they get the kill on Thrall just after he completes his quest. Off we go. Seems like a play for Koa is definitely in the cards for them right now. They're making a play for Karazim. He's dashing out, but he still gets killed. So does Mirrodin, I'd say. Yep, Mirrodin gets popped, the shield is nearly gone, and now it's time to end this game on Battlefield of Eternity. Another 5-man team wipe as the UK lose all their players and Ukrainian team claims victory on the second map of the series. They draw even with Sweden and are now currently 4-0 in this group. Nicely done, GG, well played. Ukrainians with another victory. Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description, and check that out. Thanks in advance, and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.